right, welcome back. It's Q3, week 4, day 2. I'm so handy. You don't even know. There you go. There's your singing for today. I know you missed it. So anyway, today we're doing the hands. I'm going to focus today on sort of going through all the process of building the hands. Initially, what we're going to do is sort of extrude out this portion, the pinky area, from our wrist. We're going to extrude out like a cylinder into a wrist, extrude out the pinky, and then actually we're going to stop there and create one finger and then make it look good, and then we're going to copy that finger and then adjust it. Okay? So, with the knee and the elbow, we're going to make sure that each finger is going to deform properly and is going to look okay. And just like we did before, we're going to make sure that it's going to look good when we break it down. We are going to extrude out the hand itself and the thumb, create one finger that looks good, copy it over like this, and then attach them all. Okay? Now, it's important that you look at these at this image and understand where these edges are going to be. Okay? Because what I saw a lot of people doing when we tried this before is they were creating fingers that were just long cylinders, and they were extruding them all at the same time, and that's not what you should do. You should go ahead, build one finger that looks pretty good like this, and then copy that finger over like I showed you up here, and then after that stitch it all together into the hand itself. All right, so just so we're clear, this is what we are ending up at. All right, from the top, here's our hand. I'm going to work on the right side. That way when I look at it from the left, I'm not looking through it. But we are looking at the fingers in particular. And from the front, this is sort of what we're looking for. This is our goal. Okay, this is what we're going to make today. All right, let's go ahead and grab some of these faces. Oops. If you ever have this problem, I don't know what the hotkey is, but obviously I've hit it. If you ever have this problem where you select the face and it doesn't actually highlight, you can fix that by going into the little plus menu up here and then going to configure viewports, and then under visual style and appearance, make sure it says under selection shade selected faces, and then click OK. Actually, maybe apply and then click OK. That way we've got our shaded versions back. All right, good. You'll notice I tried to put in the wrist bump back here for the wrist bone, but we want to make sure that we're staying very efficient. That's the key here, staying efficient more than anything else. But initially what we'll do is we will extrude out for the thumb and pointer here. You can see that that's been extruded out, and then we will take it from there. All right, so let's start off. So I'm going to close this. Go from the front. I'll save it and close it. All right. Oops. Close. All right. All right. Continue. Now all my settings are screwed up, so I'm going to find those real quick. Under my material tab from the front, I'm going to hit my layers. I was hiding my reference layers. Okay, cool. Get rid of the save frames. Wow. Okay, so this is where we're at now. Like I said before, from the top, it sure would be great to have some reference images. So actually, I think I'm going to do that. In my folder, I've got some pictures of my hands. I've even got them with the topology on them. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in this hand here. Let me see it. I'll pull it over so you guys can see it. So this is the top image of the hand that I built. I'm going to use that as concept art. Okay, so I'm going to look at that, get some details on it, properties. So this is 1639 by 830. So I'm going to create a plane. There we go. Perfect. So 1639, oh wait, by 830. I need to do it. 830 by 1639. 39. And then I'm going to scale that down so it fits on my hand here. Probably, let's go down to 1% and see where we're at. Good. I also can get rid of all of these extra verts. We don't need them. Cool. QM for material. I'm going to go ahead and drag it onto, I don't know, this one. We'll call it hands. It may make my material get all weird, but we'll see. Alright, I gotta get it. Where'd it go? Documents, 3D, hands, cool. There we go. That's my top. Okay, I can just drag that onto it. Like that. Cool. There. Alright, great. So, let's see how that works size-wise. That might actually be pretty close, but not quite. So, let's go ahead and scale it up until it looks good. That looks pretty good, actually. I'm surprised at how that worked out. That'll probably be good. We can always rescale it if it's a little off later. But this will be great for now. Let's see where we're at. Yeah, that's pretty close. I'll take it. All right, cool. So from the front, I'll take that image wherever the hell it was. It's probably at 000. W. Where'd you go? Top. Front. There it is. All right, cool. It's kind of out of the way already, but we'll put it down there anyway. Alright, so from the top now. This is kind of great. So I'm actually going to make sure that that is on the right layer. I'm going to add it to the highlighted layer so it's on the reference layer. So we can freeze it. I need to click on this, right click, object properties. Don't show frozen in gray. Click OK. Now we can freeze it. And it's good to go. Okay, cool. Now we won't accidentally click on it. And like I said, it doesn't matter if it's not 100% accurate. It's close enough, and that's sort of what we're going for. All right. Cool, cool. Once again, you can keep this picture here. When you're done, you can throw it away. It doesn't matter. All right. So first things first, let's go ahead and hit 4. Get our face set up. Look at it from the top. Now we're going to extrude out from here. Okay, we're going to extrude out, and that's pretty good. Click OK. Scale it maybe a little bit. Once again, we're not too worried right now about perfection. We're just sort of getting the ballpark. I'm going to extrude again. Now the reason I'm extruding twice is because I need plenty of geometry for the wrist to bend properly. It actually bends in a very small area through the wrist, smaller than you would expect, but still something we need to sort of think about. I'm debating right now if I really want to go and bother with the next section of doing that. I think I'm not going to. So from the top, now I'm going to actually extrude all the way out for the hand itself. Yeah. So extrude. This time I'm going to go much further, like there-ish. That's good. Cool. So what that's going to do is that's going to give us the basic premise of what we're going to be looking at. The top again. Now here's where we start like actually thinking about, okay, where do we want it to expand out, etc., etc. Go ahead and grab these edges. I'm going to add a loop here. Insert loop. And good. Cool. Grab these two, move it out some. Grab those two, but not you. Move it out some. And then top, move that out some. Cool. Once again, I'm just going for the general shape of everything. Now, this portion here, at this point, What I think I'm going to do is extrude out the thumb. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Oops. There we go. Deselect that. All right. We also need to start thinking about where our fingers are going to attach and how we're going to attach them. With the geometry I have right now, I'm going to go back. I don't like that. With the geometry I have now, actually, I'm going to put a different material on it. There, just so I can see a little better. I need to think about where my finger lines, where my finger edges are going to be. And because of that, I'm going to decide to probably move this through here, that back. So I think what I did before is I took this section here, this edge, and used this for this finger. This edge will go off on that finger, and the rest of it is rebuilt that way. So this will be your ring finger edge. This will be the edge top for the middle finger. Yep. Like that. And this portion is over there. Then we can extrude all the way out from here. And that gives us geometry that we can use eventually to build our pointer. Yeah. So this is going to be the other portion of the hand. We're still going to build out from here. So this is going to be, I'm probably just going to grab these and relax them, because that will pull them in and sort of split the difference between all of that area there. And that will work well to start giving us that smooth transition. This will come in. Cool. Now I'm actually going to extrude out from here for the thumb. So I'm going to add another loop. Insert loop. Now my thumb will actually come from there. Then we'll expand it out. We need it extrude. Geometry, relax, relax. Now we want to almost immediately start working on how this edge will be built. Okay, move that up there. Push that up there. Looks like I missed some of the bottom stuff, or at least one. No, guess not. This portion around the inside bending portion of the thumb can be very, very difficult to get the way you want it. Just because it is so, I don't know. It's a different shape, right? We want that to be smoother. That up some, down some. Grab that bit out. Cool. All right, great. Now we're going to continue extruding out the thumb. extrude. At this point, we could probably actually bevel the whole thing because we do need it to start getting smaller. Top. And you'll notice I use the rotate tool. Oops, that was supposed to be R. And then you can also go into local mode. Sometimes that makes it a little easier to resize this. Sometimes. But a lot of times you're just going to have to go into, keep it at world, and then go into actual verts and move the verts around. I think, yeah. So this is going to be the top part. Come up here. So we've got more of a transitional thumb. And this thumb will probably be slightly different than the last thumb. I'm not a pro at making thumbs, especially ones that are cheap and efficient, not cheap. This portion here, this whole section here can probably be deleted. We can take this, grab that loop, and I'm going to relax that loop a little bit. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Convert that to vertex. So I grab those vertices and then relax. Come on. It doesn't like it. We can do it individually. So what I need to do now is sort of start looking at, okay, so if this is going to be, I can use F3 too. This is going to be the side of the hand, and the side of the finger. Those are going to need to move up some because your hand's going to start tapering in. There you go. All of this will need to come up, and they can also be aligned from top with the fingers themselves. There we go. That up some. Most of this was built off of the other side, which has slightly different arm angles. So I'm not going to be slavish to how it's built exactly. There. Top. Also, the thumb itself, if you look at your thumb from the side, it really comes from this face here. Oops, this face here, this is the side face, really starts on the side of the wrist and becomes, it sort of curves around and becomes the top part of the thumb. So that's something we're going to have to constantly, or not constantly, but we need to keep in mind as we move vertices around. So this is going to slowly transition, and this is going to come up like that, and it's going to basically curve around, so that it comes from the side and becomes the top of the thumb. Now the top of the thumb, with that said, the top of the thumb isn't, you know, on top exactly, but it will need to sort of be more like that. It's going to become more and more tilted. Twisted thumbs. What a pain. So useful, so annoying. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and grab that, move that over. that, move that over. This as well. This will probably be our main knuckle back here, but we'll extrude that out a little bit. Okay, cool. Now, start aligning our verts for fingers. You go over there. You are. We'll get into the palm here in a little bit, but for now, you just sort of fake it a little bit. This is like the meaty part of your hand, where the thumb comes down a bit. All right, cool. Front. All right. Okay, cool. Top. Great. So, at this point, we probably need to start thinking about the actual fingers themselves and how they're going to be positioned and what we're going to be looking for. So, basically, let's go ahead and I'm going to cap this just so we can have an idea of what we're looking at. It makes it a little easier to see too. So this is going to be the bottom of the finger. All right. This is going to be the side of the finger. And you bring that in like that. There. Cool. So this will be my pointer finger. It will come out like this, and these two will connect together. So what we have is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 vertices that we are going to build. So from that, we can start looking at building our finger. Now let's go ahead and go into cylinder, and we're going to have 6 sides with 0 or 1 height, and look at it from the left view. I'm going to do it like that and push up, and there we go. So, where's my fat finger? Okay. Shrink it down. I'm going to use this finger. I want to rotate it so it's roughly like that. No, from the left view. So that's my finger. And that's roughly what I'm going to build it off of. And it's going to be about that size. So from the front, we can start adjusting it. All right, cool. So this is fine. Now my finger over here is pretty straight. Realistically, we probably want it to have a little more curve. So I'm going to actually start it by moving it up a little bit. And then going into creating an editable poly, hitting number 1, and then maybe expanding this out in all directions like that. Now the finger itself, when we attach it, will be attached like this. We will have it attached like this because your finger, actually, if you look at it, your palm is larger than your hand. So most of our fingers will actually attach to the palm like this with more geometry on the bottom of the palm, so the palm's going to come out more than at the top, and the finger's going to attach sort of there. Now from the left, or I'm sorry, from the front, we will need it to grab all of this. Notice I am working as though it's a separate object, and that's fine. I'm also not going to quite follow the thing perfectly. We're going to ballpark it a little bit. All right, cool. So I'm going to grab this face here, the one on the end, and I'm going to extrude out. Not that much, just a little bit. And then I'm going to do it again. Too much. Okay, and that's going to be the next port. I need to make sure that I'm constantly thinking about the direction that the geometry is flowing. And I also, from the top view, I want to make sure that my knuckles are slightly bigger so that it has that sort of finger look to it. Okay? From the top. So basically I'm making the second line, the second edge, a little bigger, and later we'll go in and get rid of that next section. So let's do the same thing for the tip from the top. I can do it from the top. Grab that. I'm going to do it again. Extrude one more time. Click OK. Shrink that down a little bit. Move it out. Cool. Front. And maybe this will come down a little bit, rotate a little bit. I'm double clicking that so I can get the full thing. And rotate that a little bit like that. Hit W to move that up a little bit to make more of it. Also, this section here, all of this portion, this bottom area, I'm going to bring, if you look at your finger, the top part is much a lot flatter than the bottom. Okay, so I'm actually going to bring this up, or I'm going to extrude it out a little bit, and I'm going to bring the whole thing up a little bit, and then I'm going to take all of this and move it, pull it down just a little more. That way I've got a little more of a more on the side of the top's going to be a little flatter than the rest of it, like that. Okay, once again, we're being efficient, so we can also maybe bring these in a little bit and then move them down like that. There, that looks pretty good. Good enough. All right, and then I think we have one more good extrusion. Out front. And let's do, yeah, that's good. Pull it in some. And then here, I'm going to insert a vertex right there. Notice I put it closer to the top than the center. Eventually, I mean not eventually, I'm basically done. This part here in particular, I'm going to go ahead and relax that first to get it aligned, and then I'm going to move it up like that. Okay, and then I'm going to take the whole finger, hit 4, grab all of this, and make it all the same smoothing group. Okay, so now from the front, I've got a finger that looks pretty good. Might be a little short, we'll see. The top view. At this point, I think I'm going to just go ahead and hit W, see how well it fits. I'm going to rescale the whole thing equally. Make sure that it sort of fits with what I've got. Maybe rotate it a hair. I've got angle snap on. I'm going to turn that off for now. Get that there. Extrude it out a little bit. There. It's close enough. Once again, I'm not too concerned if it's not 100% accurate. I'm more concerned to make sure it sort of works. I like the bend that I've got on there. Maybe a little short. There. I like the bend that I've got on there. Top. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Okay. But the bend is going to help when we actually put the bones in, because we're going to want that bend so that it's going to look good. Let's take that down a little bit. Cool. All right. Cool. Good. Okay, from here, I'm going to actually grab the whole object and copy it. Like that. I want to call it, doesn't matter what I call it, I'm going to redo it anyway. Do the same thing there. Okay. And do the same thing for the pinky. Okay. Now, this is the finger that's already set, so this is the finger I'm going to move. Now, my pivot point is weird. That kind of stinks. So I'm actually going to reset the pivot. Effect pivot only, center to object, align to object. There, turn it off. As long as I sort of know that where things are moving from, I should be okay. There we go. I'm more interested in where this knuckles, where the knuckles are, rather than worrying about the actual object. Now, because I'm in object mode here, I can go into hit R, go into local, and then adjust it like this if I really want to make sure it fits the way it should. Effect pivot only, center to object. Cool, turn off that, rotate it. My scaling is still on local, hit W. Now the general shape of the fingers is still pretty good. Even obviously I'm adjusting them, but you'll see that it still looks pretty good. The general shape is solid. And then this final bad boy, effect pivot only, center object. Turn that off, rotate it, rescale it. From here I might make it fatter. Alright, cool. So we're definitely going to still manipulate it a bit, but that's a good start. So from here, we attach the objects, and we continue extruding out the thumb. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go in here, go to attach, and then attach the fingers. There we go. Now, if we want to make it nice, this is 1, so we'll make all of this 1. Get rid of 4. Okay, cool. So now we're starting to come together. I really, really think that moving, doing one finger at a time and then copying it is the absolute best way to do this. If you're not doing it that way, you're going to do just a lot more work because you're going to be extruding each individual finger and it's going to be a pain. This way is much better. Now we can start taking some of these and welding them together. Actually, I'm going to delete the inside of the fingers first. And I'm going to delete the inside of that. So all that's gone. Oops. Front. Okay. So all that's gone. So now I'm going to take these vertices and weld them together. As long as your weld settings aren't too crazy, you should be able to weld them together just by hitting weld. But I'm going to go to settings just so I can just crank it up until they snap together. There. That's all of them, I think. And click OK. Cool, I had 12 verts and now I have 6, so that's exactly what I wanted. So all of those are together moderately naturally. Now I can do the same thing for this portion here. So I can grab those and from the top. I'm going to hit F3 so I can see the geometry a little better. Grab those and those and those. Okay, now obviously these bottom don't need to be selected. And now I do weld again, and then once again I crank it until those start snapping together. Doot, doot. Good. Good enough. Now that's averaging the two, which is kind of what I want right now anyway. So that's good. So hit F3 and you can sort of see how that's coming together. Now this is a little different. I actually want to target weld this because I want the bottom to go, the bottom of the hand to go to it. So I'm going to target weld from there to there, from there to there, from there to there, there to there. Okay, so there's my hand right now. Okay. This will target weld to that. This will target weld to that. Right, this side will target weld to that. This will target weld to that. So that's connected. So now we need to sort of fix our gaps here, our gaps in our fingers. So we grab our borders, click there, cap that, click there, and cap that. All right, cool. We're getting there, making some progress. Now at this point, these verts are probably really low, and it looks weird. We don't want that, so we bring those up some. Also, these vertices here are our knuckles, or if you make a fist, you can see them pop out, so we'll want to pop those out some. These will also probably pop out some. Once again, I'm not going to spend a ton of time manipulating this stuff. I'm just sort of giving you the general idea. You're going to spend more time on it than me. From the front, let's see how that looks. Okay, the whole thing kind of comes up a little bit in a way I'm not happy with. It's a little better. Okay, cool. Cool. From the bottom, we're going to take these, move it back some, and take these and move them down a decent amount. F3. You sort of see me bringing them down like that. Cool. That's good. Top. Now at this point, we're going to want to make sure that we're once again just sort of keeping this so it looks good. We can adjust things as we go. The edges are going to be different than the fingers themselves. You may need to adjust them a little bit here and there. Top view. How are we doing? Bring up there. This is here. You're going to have these triangles until you readjust your how your face numbers. Damn it. Smoothing groups. That's the word. There. Cool. Top. All right. So finally the thumb. Top view. Here's my thumb. I'm going to extrude out. Again, I'm going to extrude once, twice, 3 times a lady. Keep it at 1. Go all the way back up to extrusion. Sorry about that. All right, so squeeze that in. Top. Rotate it. Oops. Rotate it. Hit W. Expand that out. Obviously that needs to be bigger. Same thing here. We will be taking this whole section and making it a little smoother. W, moving it up some. There you go. So we have one more extrusion to do, or 2 more. Cool. Now, like I said before, the tough part about the thumb is how it sort of transitions through from this to the center of the top part here needs to sort of become the top of the nail. So if you look at the thumb in particular, we're going to have the same sort of thing where we want to have this section sort of be pulled in, and this will be the front part like that. But our nail, like the top portion of the thumb, is right here. This will be where the thumb nail is. Right? You can actually see it better, and I'm kind of running out of time, but you can see it better like that. Our thumb has more geometry than the rest. At least in this build, our thumb has more geometry than the rest of the fingers, which isn't terrible because it is kind of a weird and difficult thing to work with. But ideally, you're going to bring this part down like that. This part's going to come in, and now you're going to start building out knuckles just like you did before. Okay? This section's coming out. This section is your top portion. You're going to make sure that sort of comes through. And then all of this is going to shorten and tighten up. Okay? So all of that and all of that. You can actually shrink it down like that and then move it sort of like that. Alright, cool. So that's basically it for the thumb. You got the right idea. Once again, if you're looking at the hand art itself, if you want to get fancy and you want to try and add the extra like bone stuff, also make sure that you're smoothing out all your topology. Okay, you don't want any sort of weird bumps when it comes to topology. You want to keep it relatively smooth, so there's nothing that's causing a problem. Also remember, just like before, we'll want to pull this back some. Start to see that, and you can sort of see that this will be where the thumb bends, so we'll need to add another loop through there. From the top view, you can see how that loop will be built, so that it makes more sense. Like that, like that. All right. Once again, if you'll have time to make more out of this if you like. I think since we have extra edges on this, I will make this the top part, whereas before we used the top, we had only 6 edges, so now we have more, so we'll be able to actually make that thumb a little smoother, make it a little nicer, like that. Good. Alright, so that's the basic idea. I think this is better. This is actually the second time I've created this video and uploaded it. I think this will be a better version because I definitely took more time to show exactly how you're building things. Once again, don't be afraid to take your time to make the thumb look good. Like I said, I was kind of in a hurry here at the end. But also, this whole portion with the thumb and how it connects to the hand can be very, very, I don't know, like it becomes a problem with shading and how the shading works. Just make sure that you're trying to smooth out the topology as much as you can so that when it bends, it will bend well. So now you can sort of see that now that I've got this so ready, you can see also where the topology needs to be added, where it's going to bend, right? I can actually increase that out. I know I keep saying goodbye, but I can't say goodbye. There, fatter thumb. So this needs to be edged out here. So you can grab these edges and probably that edge, and then I'm going to go into edges, insert verts, hit W, move those over, and those are going to be attached to there. So I'm going to connect, and then those are connected there. Connect there. So now I've got the bendable portions that I'm going to need to actually bend the thumb where it needs to bend. And you can go through and sort of adjust those too to make sure that they make the most sense. And then finally, I'm going to make sure all my topology is the same, or all my smoothing groups are number one, and then hit front. And then there's my rough hand. It'd be better if I had a little more knuckle definition through here. That might be good to sort of bring that up a little bit. It's helpful. Front. All right. That's not terrible. With a little more massaging, I think we could get that to where it looks pretty good. Make sure that you don't have any end-gons like I have right here. One good way to double check for that, if we haven't gone through it before, make sure you're in face mode. go to Selection, Numeric, push the greater than symbol, click that, and then double check to make sure nothing shows up. I've got this one showing up because it's on the other side, which I don't care about. From the front, then we're copying it to the other side, and that's basically it. I think we went through the entire process again. So now this is Q3, week 4, day 2. Hopefully your topology looks good for your hands. This is off the internet, and you can see that they sort of use the same sort of thumb, or not thumb, but same sort of finger definition and edge lining that I did. They've got a lot more tries, and that's okay. Yeah, that's basically it. I hope you got a lot out of this, and I will see you next time when we are going to start on the face and the head. Have a good one. I'll see you next time.